What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean Peter Blunt guy. Hey! And we are back with another post chapter discussion where we talk about theories, discussions, predictions, all that thing, and we also talk about the chapter, of course. And but before I get into that and bring in my panel, make sure you guys hit that like button, also subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Follow me on Twitch so you can catch my live streams live. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and join the Discord so you could become a part of the community. So yeah, let me bring in my panel. Hey,
Yeah.
so today we got Cube,
What's up?
and we also got Angel, of course.
Yo,
And then we got the return of the prodigal son,
He is back.
LaJoy Boy.
Good to be back.
Hey man, good to have you back. You know, I know you've been having some technical issues, but you know, it's all good.
Oh yeah.
It's all good. Before we get into, all the discussions and everything, I just got one question, and it's directed at a specific person in the panel. What is your problem, Cube? How dare you call this chapter mid before Sabo?
Yeah.
What are you talking about now?
I'll explain it. It's just,
explain. I want to hear your explanation.
Okay. You were so happy about the chapter, and I heard the word Mihawk just one too many times. I had to say something to break that. It was too much joy for me. That's why I don't like joy, but it's too much joy in one go. So I needed to mellow it down. No, it was a great chapter. I would give it 9.9 out of 10.
Yeah, you better be just trying to troll and not be hating. I don't like all that.
My favorite part about that is that.
Yeah.
My favorite part about that is that Blump just X'd that out of his mind. He just skipped right over it. Went to my message. He had to go back and figure out what I was talking about.
I just wouldn't believe something that stupid would come out of Q's mouth, so it didn't register. You know what I'm saying? I just wouldn't think something stupid would come out his mouth. But it's Q we're talking about. Sometimes he just does that for no reason.
The expectations were already low enough, and he went and grabbed a shovel.
I mean, I expect that from Angel, but not Cube. Come on now. And I mean, when I say Angel, I don't mean it being stupid stuff. I just mean the trolling aspect of it. Him just being more of a contrarian. Him just saying something just to disagree, just for the sake of disagreeing. Yeah, man.
Also, before we start the discussion, I think Blunt, you should tell Angel not to talk during your outro. To avoid what happened last time.
I think he knows better.
we will see at the end. No, I'm just playing.
I know you're playing. I know you're playing. But yeah, so okay, all right. So I kind of want to talk about the cover page. I want to start with the cover page, right? Just because I know. Me, Angel, and Q kind of talked about it a little bit, but we got Joy Boy here today, so I'm curious. Like when it comes to the cover page, what do you see the future of this leading to, right? Because one thing I said is that I believe Caesar and Judge could potentially work together, only to possibly create something to counter the SSG and help out the Straw Hat Alliance and whoever's working with the Straw Hat. So, what are your thoughts on the potential of this?
Yeah, like especially with the title of it, because just looking at it, it kind of looks like he's attacking them.
It does.
But then the title, it's hey, get me out of here. So I could definitely see like maybe even a reunion of Mads towards the end of the series.
Hey, that's the same thing I've been saying. Everybody just like, hey, if anything, Judge would be using Caesar, and I'm like, no, it's you looking at the specifics. I'm looking at the potential of them working, whether it's one using the other or whatever. I'm just looking at the potential of a reunion of Mads. Kind of like we kind of got like a pseudo reunion of Rocks, you know, when we got Kaido and Big Mom. So,
Like I could see Caesar bringing what knowledge he like found out about like artificial giants at Punk Hazard
yep.
to Germa, and then they'll probably have better technology and be able to refine it and actually make successful artificial giants.
Yeah, with their clones, right?
Yeah.
Maybe perfect. Maybe with the combination of Judge and Caesar, maybe they could perfect the smile.
That too.
Almost the equivalent of Vegapunk. You know,
Mhm.
like it takes the two of them to achieve what Vegapunk does by itself. You know,
Right.
so I'm just, you know, we know that Caesar was big on the smile, so maybe he needs Judge's help to help him. Because again, like Judge is probably better when it comes to like manipulating like DNA and stuff. So maybe if he manipulates the DNA of the smile fruit, you know, if you want to say DNA. But yeah, you know. So Angel Cube, y'all have anything to chime in on that? I know we kind of talked about this topic, but with the new chapter, does that like change anything for you guys?
Actually, yeah, I do have what's it called? I don't know if it was with you, Bluff, or Angel. I had the discussion. You know how I said the Germa 66, we've seen with Queens being able to use it. They have specific skills, you know, like, and we could assume that Queen had this upgrade for over 30 years. So I'm wondering if, since Caesar Clown was a member of MADS, and maybe we might get more in the future in the story, where Caesar Clown's Devil Fruit was like Kizaru for Vegapunk. If Caesar Clown's Devil Fruit is very scientific, the gas Devil Fruit, Logia. I'm wondering if it didn't play a role in the past in the project of German 66, if he's not going to restart it. I do feel like old projects might restart now.
Yeah.
Because they said Mads was, when they were arrested, it was disbanded. It was like over 30 years.
Yeah.
But yet, Queen has the same stuff as the German kids. So that means that they're specific skills. So I don't know. That's my only thing. I don't know if we talked about that, but that's how I would see it. So I would see like a resurgence, maybe most likely. And it's very scientifically, you know, restarting old projects that you were abandoned 20, 30 years ago with new data.
I mean, you said something about like how, like maybe Caesar uses his gas for his experiments, kind of like Vegapunk used Kizaru. I could see that being very possible. Like, wasn't Smiley? He was pretty much a gas.
Yes, I was gonna say that. Yeah, it was part of his gas. He gave it a Devil Fruit, one of his gas, I think, or he made something out of his gas, then gave the Devil Fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing you were about to say. So.
Yes, it was one of his gases that he gave the axolotl fruit to.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And it goes with the fact Kizaru's Devil Fruit is a Logia, so it could make sense. Somebody who has a Logia, scientifically, you can use it better than a Paramecia or a Zoan, you know, because it's an element. It's an element.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if Big Mom could like take Caesar's gas and like turn it to a homie as well. just
we could, but but
maybe if she could take like Kizaru's light and turn it to a homie. I don't know if she'd be able to catch it, but you know, if she could, like if Kizaru throw a light beam and she just throws like a soul into it, and that'd be wild. Angel, you got anything to add?
No.
All right. Man, that makes sense.
I did.
What?
I did remember something when Cube was talking about Queen having the powers of the Germa kids. In a recent SBS, Oda did confirm it was Sanji's speed that made him go invisible. So it's not like lingering effects of the raid suit. It is just his speed.
Yeah, did I ever say that? I don't remember ever saying it was like.
No. He added it because we were Sanji was always assumed that it was invisibility, but now Oda announced that Sanji, what he did without the raid suit was just speed. It was not invisibility. He was so fast that he turned invisible. Specification. I think he wants to specify.
Yeah. Oh,
But
that
yeah, I
makes.
just wanted to add that in before
Yeah, I
we
didn't
moved
know
on.
that. Thanks. I didn't know that. That's really good to know, right? I did not know that. But do you ever see Sanji getting another raid suit possibly?
No.
No, I honestly think the raid suit started a process that might even go to another arc where he'll have to, because I said he has mental issues. I think like emotional instability, maybe from the medicine, maybe from the germ DNA, maybe for both. And I think the raid suit just activated those stuff. Maybe that's why he simps so hard. The only one who hasn't changed. He hasn't changed in the time skip. He's the same. Like Zoro is less lost. Usopp's still alive, but a bit less than before.
Yeah.
Luffy is more serious, less goofy. Nami is less stingy. Robin even is less morbid. But Sanji is the only one, and he had that mental crisis during his fight against Queen. So I do feel like there's Zoro is only physical. I think Sanji has a problem mentally. Nothing, he's a retard, of course. Obviously, just saying he has a blockage somewhere.
I hope he gets
So I
another
think
raid suit. Because that's a good power up right there. I think like he's strong on his own. Don't get me wrong, but the raid suit only amplifies who he already is. And maybe if like the new raid suit doesn't really mess with him like genetically or at least like it doesn't mess with who he is at a foundational level. Like that's what I'm hoping. Like maybe him and Judge talk and then they just like here's a new race suit. You ain't got to worry about messing with you genetically. Because it makes sense for that one to have manipulated him because Judge probably had that one like created. He probably been sitting on that one for a while, and it probably had like the old technology of it that messes with the Vinsmoke DNA. So I don't know. I would like to see. I like the raid suit. I like Sober Mask and all that. So hey, I'll be down with it. Plus Zoro got Enma, so it'd be nice to see Sanji with. Huh?
He's a thief. He's a thief, Zoro. He said he would give back Enma. He said, "I'm borrowing Enma during the fight." He exchanged it for during his fight.
Yeah.
Guy just left with Enma.
But
for pirate.
But maybe they didn't want to give Shishu back, so it was just like, hey, I need one of them.
Yeah, you didn't get to see Ryuma's grave, right?
At least we didn't see him see it, which I'm disappointed in.
Yeah.
But, that's neither.
But going forward for Sanji, like the power up, I see him getting as a hockey one. I think he'd get advanced observation.
That's interesting.
Because I mean that would go in with his speed and all that. And I think because at the end of the series, obviously Luffy's gonna have all advanced versions of it.
Yeah.
You can give advanced observation to Sanji, give maybe just advanced conquerors to Zoro since he's already showing conquerors.
Or armament.
But then I would say Jinbei getting armament because of his fight with Who's Who and his armament hockey prowess in that fight.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Oda always kind of seemed like he wanted Zoro to be focused on armament, so that's why I say that.
Yeah, that too, for sure. But I like having it split up between the top three commanders, and then having Luffy have all three.
Or maybe Usopp. Usopp get advanced conquerors. He instantly becomes like the second strongest Straw Hat. No, I'm playing. All right, so bounties. What do we think of bounties? Angel, you want to start this off?
Yeah, let's start with Angel.
Let's start with Angel. What you think of bounties, man?
I guess they were okay. I didn't have a problem. Nothing surprising. Nothing surprising.
So informative. Not like Chopper. You don't think any of them was like unfair or like somebody should have got a bigger boost or something. What about Frankie not being in the bounty poster?
I found that funny. I found that pretty funny that they made it to Sunny. But who knows? Maybe it'll lead to something.
All right. Anybody? Q.
Okay, so I have two things about the bounties. The first thing, because you talked about Frankie, and I want to assume this, it's not. It doesn't come from me. I read on Reddit. It was a while ago, a few months ago, and somebody said something that was very interested, and he said, about when the Straw Hats were all sent, and we assume Kuma got the directive maybe from Vegapunk, where to send the Straw Hats. And he said, what if Frankie, and you know how he says Frankie doesn't get the hype by the government? What if Vegapunk, who maybe did want Frankie to go to his laboratory for a specific reason, he's hyping him down? And I do feel like now the fact that they put the Sunny and not Frankie's face, I'm wondering if it's not deliberate by somebody, like putting Frankie out of the spotlight.
Maybe Vegapunk.
So that's why
is
when I read the
protecting-
chapter, yeah, like I don't know why, but then he said it could be Vegapunk because the fact that he was sent to Vegapunk's childhood laboratory that looked very secret. He said it has to be somebody who had great knowledge of Frankie at Vegapunk. And he said if it was Vegapunk or something in the government. So yeah, so that's the first thing about bounties. And the second thing, and I will agree, I like the positioning of the bounties. Number 1, Luffy. Number 2, Zoro. Number 3, Jinbei. And number 4, Sanji. Because I said it. The fight with Jinbei versus Who's Who put a bigger target on his back. Because the person was listening and watching all the fights. The guy from Cypress Zero, and he learned about Sun God Nika, and the stories of the prisoners and stuff like that, and why Who's Who was sent to Impel Down for losing the Gomu Gomu no Mi. So I also think that Whole Cake Island played a huge factor, but I think his Sanji is not a threat because Zoro beats up everybody. Like Zoro's name is almost as scary as Luffy's, in the world when they hear about the Straw Hats. Sanji is always in the background, so it wouldn't make sense that Jinbei had much bigger feats that would scare the Gorosei Jinbei than Sanji. So that's why I'm very happy on the positioning. Sanji hasn't done the stuff to be number 3.
And just to kind of add on what you say, Jinbei was a warlord as well, and seeing how the government, the Marines are like actively hunting warlords. Maybe Jinbei kind of just got a little extra attention because of that as well. So yeah. Joy Boy.
Oh
I mean,
God,
yeah.
there we go.
Say what?
I mean, Jinbei over Sanji did kind of surprise me. But I mean, after what Cube was saying, it makes more sense. And then to Frankie, like even before it. Frankie's bounty poster, I think before was the General Frankie, right? So it wasn't even technically him in the bounty poster. But then
Exactly.
also it's big news who chooses the photos. So for him to put the the figurehead of the ship, the Sunny, after the reveal of the Sun God Nika, like with Luffy, I think it's just Oda trying to drive that home.
That's a good point, though. That is a good point.
And then what I was saying with like Robin, it is close to 1 billion, but I would have liked it like 9.5 to 9.7.
But sorry to cut in, but do you think because of Robin bounty, do you guys think it was Oda's nod to the Void Century? Because their bounty increased exactly 800 million. Like 800 years ago was a Void Century. Void Century, I think it was 800 years ago.
I didn't think of that.
Huh.
I don't remember what her bounty was before, so I didn't think of it.
130, and now she's 930.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. That is very interesting. What about oh, go ahead.
And then Chopper was one of the ones I predicted.
Yeah,
Everybody predicted that. Everybody predicted that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's their bigotry. That's all.
They
see him as an animal and the pet for them.
That'd be wild if the ship had like a bounty and it was higher than Chopper's.
Yeah. Oh, bro, that reminds me of Chainsaw Man. There was a character's car that ranked higher than them in the character polls.
Yeah, damn.
What?
So, yeah, man, they kind of did Chopper dirty. I'm kind of hoping like, y'all think he'll ever get into like the millions?
I hope not.
No.
No love for Chopper. Damn.
I
Nah, I
really
love
hope so.
Chopper, but I just think it's funny.
That's a
But
good
you
character.
realize he has 1,000 bounty, and Queen had like 1.3 billion bounty, and he slapped and made Queen bleed. That's the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
Like the difference
Like-
between their bounties is so funny.
Man,
Like, it would be funny to have a scene where like Chopper is kidnapped because they think he's like the weakest member because he has 1,000 bounty bearing. I think that would be pretty funny. But
yeah, that'd be wild.
I want to say something about Frankie because you talked about his bounty poster, and I'm wondering, with all the thing with Sun God Nika in the story, do you guys think he just thought of the the Thousand Sunny making a son, or like maybe when he was a kid they told him stories about something similar to Sun God Nika, and that's why it's something that his parents were pirates. Maybe they talk about certain legends, and he thought of that because I think he decided to put the Sunny like that. So I'm wondering if there's a link.
Well, he wanted it to be a lion.
yeah, he
That's
wanted
what
to
he,
Yeah.
he-
Yeah, and he called it the Thousand Sunny, which I find it, I'm asking questions
that was
now
his brother.
because.
It was his brother who called it the 1,000 Sunny.
Ah, okay,
Right?
okay, I forgot about that.
yeah, it was Iceberg.
I thought it was all him. I forgot about it. So then, sorry.
No, because I don't even think he get to know what he wanted to make because everybody was just talking over it.
I mean, I don't know. I think he said, I don't know. I remember it was some funny name.
So, I guess continuing on with bounties, right? Since we kind of on the topic of bounties, let's talk about the cross guild bounties.
That was the greatest reveal.
Yeah.
This chapter.
It was. Because I was always curious what, like, Mihawk and Crocodile's bounties were, because,
Yeah.
Oh.
they were Shichibukai most of the series. So it's like, never really got that, Crocodile's was the lowest, Now, it makes sense, though, right? It makes sense because he's not Mihawk, for one. And Buggy is looked at as the leader of this whole operation. So, just going off of that, Crocodiles would probably be the lowest. What were you going to say?
Now, I was going to say something ignorant.
But I want to say something because I now want justice for all those years. I've said for years that Luffy was always that powerful, and the only opponent in pre-time skip that was hard was Rob Luffy because he trained also to be an assassin. And I said Crocodile was much stronger than people because people think just because Alabasta is so long ago they think like Crocodile is some weakling who became Shishibukai because he's well connected. Now I'm sorry, what we've seen, what he did with the Marine stuff like that, and they gave him at least almost 2 billion. It proves that Crocodile is that powerful. It's just Luffy is stronger. He's just a beast by himself. That's what I also liked about it. It's a bit showing that pre-time skip villains were not as weak as some people think.
I think when it
Oh
comes...
yeah, and
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Paul.
I was gonna say I think when
Well,
it comes to... I'll let you go. I'll just finish now. I was gonna say I think when it comes to Crocodile, he just came too early as a villain. If he was like later in the pre-time skip, it would have made sense.
Mm-hmm. And it's just a lot of people just underestimating Luffy.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't until Lucci was probably one of the first people that took him seriously.
And the only Zoid that he fought pre-time skip, like true Zoid, trade Zoid user as well. More physical.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's professional, so he's just trying to, get the job done. But he also knew that one fighting style which was able to bypass Luffy's natural defenses. Was it Roku? I can't even think of the
Ryokugad.
Yeah. I was gonna say
that
Rokushiki.
has the name Ryo.
I think it's Rokushiki though, right? I think Ryokugan is one of the attacks.
Yeah, it's a 7th attack. There are like 6 technique, and that's a 7th secret technique. Rokushiki is the whole fighting style, and there's like Jigad, Tekai, Geppo, all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the moves. Damn.
And I think the thing that really helped Luffy in the fight with Crocodile was he was able to use Crocodile's like natural weakness. You
Yeah.
know, like he weaponized Crocodile's weakness, and that kind of put him in the fight, as I remember. Right, kind of like with Enel, like, but Luffy was Enel's natural weakness, so it was just.
Oh yeah.
Even though Enel was superior to Luffy, if you want to get technical, it's just he was just the matchup. It was a bad matchup for Enel at the end of the day. You know, even though I'm a little critical of Enel because I believe he relied way too much on his devil fruit abilities to where it's like when his devil fruit ability failed, he didn't really have nothing to go back on. I think that's where Enel failed because he had that god complex. He was like, I'm a god. He's never been challenged. He never had to learn how to fight because everybody he fought he was superior than because of his devil fruit. So it was just kind of like, you know.
But he also has one of the two Logias. I would put Kizaru as the second fruit that works crazy. That's crazy powerful observation hockey. That's what he was using. He was also, he was also spoiled by his observation hockey. He was able to do stuff like hear people from crazy distance, be much faster, like react into crazy speed. So I think he was also spoiled by his the combo between his Batra, how he calls it, and his Goro Goro no Mi. So like you said, he was the only double food user and barely he didn't go first in hockey. He should have gone armament if he would have, trained and stuff like that, but he never did it because he was just content with observation.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he pulled a Frieza and went and trained his shit and came back,
He's close to Fujitori's level.
He'd wait.
He might have though. He might come back and like, hey, the return of Enel. one piece One Piece E. The return of Enel. Kind of like Dragon Ball F or whatever that movie was. Oh man.
Resurrection of.
Yeah. Which I think he will eventually come back. It's just how, that's just gonna be the question. So but yeah, we was talking about the bounties. Was you gonna say something, Andrew?
The bounties?
No, I thought you was about to say something.
There's only one bounty we have to talk about. Come on, say it. Say it about it.
Buggies, right?
Oh, okay, you want to talk about buggies? Okay.
We're gonna talk about buggies. Which surprisingly him being in what kind of surprised me, the way they was hyping up Buggy's bounty, especially him being the leader of Mihawk and Crocodile. I thought his was going to be higher than I thought he was going to have the highest of the trio, but his was only like 3.189 billion berries.
Yep.
Like 0.189 more than Luffy's. So he's higher than Luffy though. That's wild.
And I'd like to correct something I said a few months ago. I said Lost Crew will be the easiest crew worth over 3 billion to get caught. Buggy is going to be the easiest person to get caught with over 3 billion. I'm rephrasing that because Buggy, if he's not protected, poor guy. It's like a 3 billion paycheck for anybody, plus for anybody who captures Buggy, and he's not that hard to catch.
I don't think
I was thinking about
captured,
Law. I thought you said Law. I was like, Law.
Yeah, because a few months ago, when the law, last month when the law bounty came out, I said, listen, when you see Law's crew versus Kid's crew or Luffy's crew, they're not. If they're alone, they're gonna get captured by a much stronger enemy. Because other than Law and Beppo and the Giant, all of them are doctors. There's not one other fighter. Law is powerful, but I don't see him beating up like defending himself against Blackbeard's crew.
Yeah, but like no one can beat him in the sea.
No one to what?
Well, yeah, man.
So long Beppo takes out.
I said no one can beat him in the sea.
Yeah, well, dude, they're pirates. They're gonna be smart. They're gonna wait. So you think Blackbeard pirates are gonna wait? I'm gonna attack them on the sea. Why Blackbeard waited 20 years just to get Whitebeard, and to get that fruit? He'll wait.
Blackbeard, the genius.
But I'm also it's hitting me because I'm 100% behind the Buggy might be Xebek's son, the giving him the bigger bounty as well can, is giving me a tilt to that side.
Oh
Mhm.
boy. Oh boy.
So they'll get to room temperature.
Oh boy. So Buggy
Blunt was like,
Buggy is higher than Luffy's, but he is lower to one man on his crew, and that is the world's greatest swordsman, Mihawk. Oh, it was just a wonderful song that this chapter played, man. It's a wonderful song, man. I just got to
Oh,
build the
man.
hype. It's a wonderful song. And Mihawk had 3.59 billion berries. And the world government hyped him up to all heaven with the Hawkeye's Mihawk, former warlord of the sea with greater sword skill than even Red Hair the Emperor. Not only that, Mihawk even shows you his motivation, right? He's like, look, I don't want the heat. I I prefer to live a quieter
Peaceful
life.
life.
So does this play more into the idea? Idea I've always believed in. I've always said that Mihawk, the only thing stopping Mihawk from being a Yonko was Mihawk, his lack of ambition of being a Yonko. So
And the crew.
yeah, and the crew exactly. But it's not like he couldn't go out and get a crew. You know, if he, I mean, I don't know if Mihawk is that charismatic. Like maybe he couldn't. I don't know. You know, because just being strong ain't enough to get a crew. You also gotta, be kind of charismatic like Luffy and Shanks and Roger. Unless you just get people that just respect strength. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe Kaido.
Mhm. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. It could be pretty bad if he had a crew that only followed him because of his strength.
Mm,
Yeah, you need to have the will, like, Shank's crew, how they follow him, or
I'm-
Luffy's crew, how they follow him.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can easily be betrayed if someone only follows you for your strength.
I don't think
That
it's
means you're
just
just like
that though. I think
you're-
it's like kind of like Kaido, right? Like they people follow him because they trust in him because he's strong. You know?
Yeah, but like his well, two of his all stars from what we've seen. Well, no, one of his all stars from what we've seen follow him for more than just his strength.
Yeah. King
I would say
King
crew.
started
I would
to
say
follow
Jack.
Kaido. Yeah,
I would say
say
King
Jack as
started to
well.
follow Kaido because he thought he could be Joy Boy, but then Kaido lost that
But-
drive to be Joy Boy.
But isn't that
But no,
respecting
I
somebody
don't-
for
I don't-
strength though? If
Huh?
isn't that like saying like King follows Kaido because of his strength? Because he believes he's
Not-
strong enough to be Joy Boy?
Well, there's more than just strength to being Joy Boy, and that's why Kaido couldn't become Joy Boy.
But it was
But-
kind of like he
but
said,
that-
"Are you
that-
Joy Boy?" And then he was like, "Yeah, I'm the only one that could be Joy Boy because I'm like strong enough." But then he also said like, "Joy Boy is the person who beats me." So like he
Yeah,
also said that.
that's
So King didn't really follow him because he thought he was Joy Boy. He just thought like he was strong enough to where he was just strong. It really more so he respected him because he was strong.
Don't forget.
Yeah,
don't
Yeah,
forget
to answer.
This is
This
a
is
very
evolved.
hard
Wait,
thing.
Hold
This
on,
is
hold
this
on,
is
hold
very
on,
hard
hold on.
thing.
Go ahead, Angel.
wait, one at a time, guys. One at a
Let
time.
Angel go because
Oh.
he's a man of few words. So
Yeah,
you know.
true.
I
Go
said
ahead.
I was gonna say this is a very hard thing to talk about because I mean, like, if you look at the chapter, yeah, I guess it could just be seen. Oh, well, yeah, he's just saying Joe Boy is the strongest, yeah. But who knows? We don't know what happens in between those whatever years they were together. So, yeah, I guess from what we've seen, there's more truth to what you're saying.
Yeah, he thought Kaido was strong enough to change the world, which
Also,
ultimately is his strength.
Kaido started his flashback with King by liberating him. That's when he told him, "Are you Joy Boy?" And he said, "Yeah, I must be." And then after the years, I think he knew Kaido. He realized he's not Joy Boy because he was not interested in liberating. I think that's what I got from it. And then he started to say, when Kaido asked him, "You still think I'm Joy Boy?" And he said something to change the subject. And I think that's the moment Kaido realized that he's not Joy Boy. And then the next flashback was when he said, "Joy Boy will be the one who'll defeat me." I go from my memory. That's how I felt from it.
That's
so it was
good.
King, yeah, it was King for me that lost the vision of Kaido being Joy Boy, and that's when Kaido, I think, maybe got depressed or stuff like that, or started realizing it that even King doesn't believe in him anymore. In that sense.
Yeah.
That's me.
What was you gonna say, Joy Boy? I know you had something.
Oh, I was just gonna bring it back to the original question of if Mihawk had a decent enough crew, could he easily be a Yonko? And I think the answer to that is obviously yes.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I just
I don't
thought
know
that was
why it went
interesting.
into what his crew dynamic would be. It's just whether the fact if he had a crew or not.
Yeah.
He would obviously be easily recognized as a Yonko.
Yeah. Yeah. Most definitely. Most definitely. All right. So, go ahead.
I want to say something. Have you? This is for Blumph because the other two, I think we've talked a bit quickly about it. Blumph, have you ever seen One Piece film Z?
Film Z.
Yeah.
Yeah. With Z.
You know, remember?
World,
Yeah, remember
World
Zephyr
Z,
having. Yeah, One Piece film Z with Zephyr, the ex-marine that got fucked up by this ex-pirate who became Shishibukai, who fucked him so much, removed his arm, that he went. So now we have a confirmation it was Mihawk, the Shishibukai, who wrecked and literally created the Zephyr we know now in the story, in the movie. Because they said it was a pirate who became Shishibukai who hunted down Zephyr. I think that's how they said it. And cut off his arm.
And I'm glad
he was the teacher. He was instructor of Akainu and Kizaru. Though,
was that canon? Was that canon?
And it's
No.
The movie is not canon, but I don't know if Zephyr is canon in the story. But he said that there was a pirate that chased him down, and since then has become a Shishibukai, and that's how he started to hate the world government for that deal they made.
And that you kind of with what you said, kind of segue what I wanted to talk about next, and that was Mihawk being named the Navy Hunter or the Naval Hunter. So
yeah, that's crazy.
So in a sense, Mihawk was kind of like Zoro, except like Zoro in the East Blue Saga, he was held as the pirate hunter. Except Mihawk was held as the Navy hunter.
Till this day, he's still known as that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But he's a pirate now, so people just kind of became part of the Straw Hats.
Well, I mean, he's still hunting pirates technically, taking down.
But it's not like his main job though. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Yeah, like he probably was getting paid for that and collecting bounties and stuff. Now he takes him down for like his captain.
Yeah, there's still truth to the epitaph though.
Yeah. So, but like. Damn, like Mihawk was a Navy hunter though, and it made like, bro, like I never even thought of that. I do remember what you was talking about, Q, where Z, he was cut by. Man, that's something to think about. Mihawk defeating
because wasn't
Z.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Because I think in the community for a while they thought it was a different warlord that got unseated.
They thought
that was
Weevil.
The popular theory.
Yeah, the most popular was Weevil because he basically is hunting the Whitebeard pirates.
But Weevil didn't really become relevant to like after Whitebeard died, so.
But film Z is right after.
It wasn't until after Dressrosa that he was introduced.
Yeah. Until Dressrosa? Oh, okay. Yeah, but some people thought it was Weevil because then he became, he was the only one that was hunting down. But
when was
we should have
World War
known
Z?
that he was a hunter. It was after the time skip. That I know, but I don't know. It's before Stampede. Stampede was after Dressrosa, because we saw Sabo, so it must likely after Fishman Island.
But I feel as though it couldn't be Weevil because Z left the Marines like before the time skip.
Oh yeah, a long time ago. Yeah, a long time ago. But that's
like,
that was the idea of some people. I didn't know who it was. I didn't have an idea.
Yeah, because if he was still in the Marines, we would have seen him in Marine Ford, I feel like. So he had to
He's
leave.
Yeah.
not
Like,
No, he's out. It's been, I think, it's people compared Zephyr to Blackbeard in some of the stuff. Waited 20 years, stayed 20 years, then betrayed his organization, and the members he recruited, like people did some parallels to Blackbeard. So I know it
Even
was a long time
Shiki
ago.
waited 20 years too.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's nothing with the year 20 years every
Yeah.
time. I don't know why.
Maybe that's when
But yeah.
Roger formed his crew, or recruited Rayleigh. That's why it hasn't been revealed.
Yeah.
So at 20.
So,
So
all
20
right.
years before his death. So like 44 years ago.
No, when he was 20, he formed his.
When he was
he met
20.
Rayleigh.
Okay.
So, all right. So what about the last part of the chapter when we get the whole revs? Any thoughts, any theories on?
Oh, so I sent 2 pictures in the
Yeah, I seen
the
Wakuma.
chat. Yeah, so that was when we last saw him, like back in the Reverie, and even in the panel where we saw them going against Fujitora and Green Bull, he was still injured. But
Yeah.
by the time he escaped, like all of his injuries are gone. Like, so one of my theories has been that Bonnie like changed him back maybe before he even had cyborg parts. And then that's why he's able to have his free will and talk to Dragon.
You think?
That's actually a good take. That's interesting.
The question is, can Bonnie is Bonnie's abilities like that, or like she could de-age you to like?
Well, it's just reverting them back to an age, yeah.
But how do you take
Her-
away
her-
how do you take away the cybernetic parts though? Like.
I think
I mean, it's just One Piece, so it de-aged back to before he got him.
So let's say let's say rocking with this. Could she revert Zoro back to the age when he still had an eye, or Shanks when he had an arm?
Yeah, she can do that.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'm really skeptical about this is that didn't they
there's
say
an
that
issue.
he was fully robot? So can you really change a robot back to a human?
Yeah, that's like my
Guys,
question.
the thing is,
I definitely think-
what bothers me with this is that it's interesting, but I do feel like we have a better option with literally Kuma's Devil Fruit. If they know a code to activate for Kuma, and we see, because I always said Vegapunk might have put a backup to free Kuma, because there was this. Vegapunk is not that bad. It doesn't seem to be evil.
Mhm.
I see it more like that, because he has literally the power to repel.
Yeah.
He can maybe get his memory back if, let's say, you activate his awakening, and he repels his entire body, or he repels back to who he was before all of that. He can also choose that, because he can literally repel anything. Because I do like the Bonnie thing, but the thing that bothers me with this is that the age power does play with a bit of time travel in a way, because the age is time related. So I can see that, but then this idea that you could bring back Shanks' arm or stuff like that, that's like changes a lot. It's like it's a broken Devil Fruit.
Yeah.
It would be
That's
too much
kinda
of a
my
broken Devil
problem
Fruit.
right there. Like, I could see it changing age, but I don't see it like changing permanent like injuries or like scars. Maybe scars to a degree, but like if you're missing an arm, I don't see it like it being able to just because I just think you'll be a younger version of yourself without an arm, like Shanks. He'll just be a younger version of himself without an arm, or Zoro will be a younger version of himself without an eye. Like that's kind of how I would see it.
And there's a way to nerf it is to just make it temporary on other people.
Wait,
Yeah.
it makes you younger, so I don't see how it's like.
Well, it goes
Yeah,
both
it makes you
ways.
younger, so I don't know about the scar part Bluntly is trying to argue. I mean, if she turns you back to an age where you didn't have that.
But making
I
you
don't see-
younger, making you younger doesn't mean you could regrow an arm. Is what I'm saying, or your arm, like unless you're actually playing with time, I could see that being the situation. Like I'm trying to think of a character like that, but if you can actually play with time to where like you can revert somebody to their exact moment, like if you're just making somebody older or younger, that doesn't like I don't believe that automatically mean you will be able to regrow something a limb that's missing. It's just playing with your age. Like,
Yeah,
How
that's
does
the word
Ares
age.
power
It's the
from
age. It's the
MHA
age.
work? I
It's the
can't
age
remember.
devil fruit. It's not the revert devil fruit. Revert, I would agree. Like it goes back to a person that you were before, maybe, or who you could be in the future. Okay, but age is also that's the thing. Age. It depends what Oda considers part of aging. You know what I mean? Like if you go back in a certain age, you lose all of those extra stuff. That's the problem. It's
And then
it's
you also got to think about
confusing.
you also got to think about the awakening of the devil fruit because we don't know how old she is, so she could have this devil fruit for a long time, and it could be awakened. So the awakening of that fruit could lead to that being a possibility, though.
yeah, there's like this form of media. I forgot what it was. I don't remember what it was, but the person had an ability where she was healing people, but she wasn't healing them through like healing ability. She was able to actually reverse time to a point where that person wasn't injured, right? But that's not the same as the aging a person. It's just I mean or it may not be the same as that. It could be the same for Jory Bonnie, but I just can't remember the show I'm thinking of. But if you're just playing with somebody's just age, I don't think that necessarily mean you can regenerate something that's missing.
I don't know. I don't know. It's like it turns you back to when you were at a certain age, or turns you into a certain age. I
Yeah,
don't know. This is like saying like what if she turned Zoro into a future version of himself in Sabaody? Would he have that scar on his eye?
and that's the thing that's what I'm asking though. That's kind of what I'm asking.
But
But like
Think of
I
Shinobu,
don't know.
right?
It's just
Think of Shinobu, right? Like she aged Momonosuke physically.
Mhm.
She couldn't change who he is mentally. He's still a child, right? So just because he got older, it's not like he just became a 28-year-old in both physical and mental, right? Like it was just she's able to age him, but with Kuma, I don't just aging him. I don't think that takes the cybernetics from his body and everything.
and I checked I checked the wiki her devil fruit. It's a day, but what was explained is it progresses or reduces the aging process. So that's somebody's age or what he was at a certain age is the aging process of her of oneself.
Yeah,
Mm. So
So
it just like
the thing that
okay.
the thing that bothers me with that is what you said about Zoro's scar. Like if she would have done it before he even had the scar and he would have the scar reappear, that would not even be the age devil fruit. That would be like the destiny devil fruit, or like it goes out of the scope of what the devil fruit can do. So
yeah,
right now I'm more into that Kuma. They managed to break his process and he freed it. But I want to push to a segue saying that seeing that Kuma is back with the other revolutionaries, but Sabo isn't. Could it be possible that like Kuma sent them somewhere else? Because he has a powerful Delphi to send them somewhere
could
else.
be. It could have been.
Well, from what I
Because it was
understand, like the everything that happened with Cobra, like happened after everybody else left.
yeah.
So
Ah,
Sabo would have had to get away by himself with Vivi, possibly. We don't know what's happening there, but from what I understand, yeah, everything that happened with Cobra happened after the other revolutionaries left, and Sabo was still there.
Yeah.
I, I like this idea. I think we had is the red hair pirates could have helped Sabo escape, and then because and maybe they dropped Sabo and Vivi at the next island of Luffy without knowing that Luffy will arrive there because he's supposed to leave an island that's nearby Wano, that's at the east, and he was close to Wano, but he never went to Wano. But he was nearby the Sea of Wano, so maybe he could have dropped them off and he has a thing with moving at fast distance. His crew, it moves from places to places very fast. So I also like this idea because we never saw his crew. Every time they show Shanks, they show his crew where they are at that time, and at the Reverie is the only time where we didn't see his crew with him. Not his ship, nothing, like they were somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So I kind of agree with you, Cube, on the Kuma thing, where maybe he's still pretty much cyborg. Maybe Vegapunk put like some fail switch to where he could kind of get somewhat of his even though he'll still be cyborg pretty much, but he can get his memories and stuff back. You know what I mean? I think that's the more realistic approach. As far
I was
as,
just throwing it out there.
No, I get it.
I'm not living or dying, but
not,
it was just something interesting to think about.
I'm not against the whole Jory Bonnie idea either. I'm just confused if her abilities can even do something of that sort. That's my only pushback. If it could, I'm not arguing against it. It's just I don't think aging changes like certain injuries. Like a scar, could you de-age a scar? Possibly, but like something like slightly cosmetic, maybe. But like if you're missing a whole eye, I don't know if it could making someone younger just
age
regenerates a whole eye. You know what I mean? Like that was kind of my pushback on that statement. But
and I said the name of his devil fruit.
And also, like Kuma's devil fruit ability, could he have, pushed the cybernetics out of his body? I don't know. Does he still have organs and stuff? Because if his organs are taken out, his cybernetics might be the only thing keeping him alive. So
right.
I think it's the mental blockage because it's repulse. His fruit is the repulsion fruit.
Yeah.
It basically says it repulses. So I can see it pushing it away, at least the mental thing, because I think it's very much intact.
I really don't know, cause about this whole Kuma thing, isn't he just a robot now?
No, he's still cyborg because like part of his body, like his hands, are still human. Because they said if they remove his hands, he loses the paw print. It's imprinted in his skin.
Yeah.
That's why he still has his gloves and he still uses his fruit.
Bro, I love Kuma's ability, man. That's
I don't know. We'll just have to see of Kuma, because as of right now, I personally don't even think that is Kuma. Well, it is Kuma's body, but not Kuma like the Kuma we had before the whole thing with Vega.
But yeah, I don't think he'll ever be his original self, but this is probably the closest they're ever going to get to the original Kuma, I
don't know. I feel like he's just a servant.
I mean,
I think there's a twist because his devil fruit is. The more I think about it, the more I feel like there's his devil fruit when he'll activate his awakening. If he didn't already, I think something mental will happen, and I think all that has happened to him might even. What if he can repulse the bad memories? It's crazy, but he can remove pain from him. Maybe he could, at awakening, he could literally remove some bad memories and become the person he was before. It's crazy. It's crazy thinking, but it's possible.
And from some stuff, it seems that he was turned into a complete robot.
Even the hands? No, without the hands.
I don't know about the hands, but it just says that he was turned into a complete robot.
They say he lost his humanity. He still probably has a lot of human, body. His body is still probably some, at least some human, a bit possibly. He probably I, I don't know. I don't know. But his hands, it probably kept the hands there so he could still have his ability. But as far as his will, maybe Vegapunk still kept some of his will there. Like maybe kind of locked away. So
Yeah,
if
that's what I was
let's say
thinking.
he is working with the Revolutionaries, maybe he wants them to be able to save Kuma. So I don't know. It could be something like that. So I hope so, because again, I like Kuma. And I hate how dirty he's been done by the Marines and everything, the world government. So I will hope to see him somewhat himself. I know he can never probably return to who he originally was, but
And let's not forget the thing I said is about Germa 66 is the biggest Star Wars inspiration that Oda put in the story, and Order 66 is when the stormtroopers from Palpatine get an order to betray the Jedi's. So I do feel like this can also be connected to Kuma. Kuma literally becoming who he was before and betraying the Goroseis and going
maybe
back with the revolutionary.
maybe
Could have been that.
Kuma's like Darth Vader. If you
Yeah,
think
that's
about it.
the theory. That was the idea. It's French theory, so I cannot send it. But it's Vegapunk is Palpatine. Vegapunk Kuma is Darth Vader, and the Sith Lords can be seen as the revolutionary, even though they're even with the fact that they always wear cloak when they're moving around, and the Jedi Council is the Gorsei, talking about what light do we have to keep and stuff like that. So that was the basis of the theory.
So would SSG be like the clones,
It could be. We don't know what SSG is,
which
and
also plays on? Go ahead.
And the blueprint of the Germa clone lab is the same as the one in the movie too. There's a scene where you look at it from on top, and it's the same image when you see for the first time the clone, the same type of place, the same type of the what's called the where the body, like the small aquariums where the bodies are, where the clones are, the same positioning on both in the manga panel and the movie. So
So I have something interesting. I'm just gonna kill my fellow Benny theory because when we just looking at the text box that Oda chooses to use for Kuma when he's saying "as you command," it's very boxy and rigid, right? And usually when we see people talking in it, I was even going back and like seeing Kuma's previous text boxes. They're rounded, like how normal people's are.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you go and look at like the last part of that panel when the Dindin Mushi starts talking, it's boxy like Kuma's.
Yeah.
So pretty sure Kuma is still pretty much just a robot, and that dragon somehow unlocked the blockage, and it's just going to be a recording.
Yeah, I mean, him saying "as you command" kind of sounds something like a artificial intelligence statement. Like if you had a cyber and you're like, "Hey, do this," and they're like, "as you command," like so.
But also like just the way the text box, like the speech box looks.
I like that because I just had a crazy thought. What if Vegapunk inputted certain voices he reacts like celestial dragons, and he could have put key members of the Revolutionary Army. Maybe that's how they got him to leave. They heard maybe Sabo's voice. He connected and listened to their orders, like a priority on them.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen that he does that with the Pacifista when they look at people and they scan people. Maybe they did that with Kuma, where when they saw Boa Hancock, they stopped attacking the Pacifistas. Maybe there's something like that about the revolutionaries. And Vegapunk instilled all that information in his mind. Because it's true, as you wish or as you command, it is really like he wasn't relaxed, so maybe he's still in his control.
Yeah.
But he just followed them because there's a directive. Actually, that's a better thing than saying a code that will liberate him. Actually, that's a better thing.
So yeah, like Vegapunk was been working. Yeah, so just plays the idea Vegapunk been working with the Revs, and he's using Kuma. He's using Kuma as a way to like give intel, you know.
Yeah, actually,
And,
it's
and looking
actually
at and looking at
I don't know.
Koala's face, she was pretty sad. Like she kind of felt bad for Kuma. So I think
yeah.
Kuma is going.
I don't know. I feel like after Marineford when Kuma did that, I feel like because in Marineford he wouldn't listen to anyone who wasn't a Marine. I feel like they took that off. Well, maybe Vegapump took that off after Marineford, where like he would just listen to anybody, which would have probably made it easier for the revolutionaries to get him out of, you know, Marijua, because he just listens to anybody, not no matter who they are, I guess.
I think that's dangerous because Kuma has like one of the most broken devil fruits. What if one like when the way you say anybody? Imagine one random person or like ill-intended person just goes to Marijoa, tells Kuma to do something, and he'll do it.
Yeah.
I think there's a limit. Like not I think celestial dragons were allowed to command him, but the priority over on Hunter. Maybe the Gorosei. If a Gorosei comes and says something to Kuma, I think their voice would be a bigger order because that would be like chaos. Imagine everybody saying to Kuma something and he would do all of it in one go. His
Yeah.
brain will explode.
Yeah.
Oh,
damn.
I agree with Cuba on that. That would be definitely dangerous. Like if I just went to Mary
what if
Jo
he
and be
didn't
like,
even have
hey, go kill all the celestial dragons, they wouldn't want that, and he had to listen because he listens to anybody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
I want to address the fact that for the first time, we've seen an expression of Dragon's values and morality on what he said about Sabo.
Oh
And
yeah, that was very interesting.
the fact also that he knows Sabo since he's a child, and why would he think that Sabo was capable of doing what he was reading? He said he would not forgive him.
Under no circumstance,
Yeah, he would
no
forgive
matter
him.
the reasoning.
Sabo
Yeah.
for Straw Hat. Luffy will protect him from his dad. Don't worry, guys.
He kills
So-
his
He
dad.
said there will be a reckoning between us, no matter his reasoning. Sabo is just fine,
Yeah.
but if it is true that he killed King Cobra, there will be a reckoning between us.
Sabo. I don't know. Wait, wasn't there like someone who said something about Sabo? I feel like that I've seen that somewhere. Sabo and Carrot, or Sabo and Vivi. I feel like I saw something like that.
What if
Oh,
what if like the world government knew, like obviously they don't like the Nefertari, so they could have known there was like some kind of connection there between Dragon and Cobra, and then them framing Sabo would put like a wedge between them.
Oh, it was
kind of hinder the world government and hinder the revolutionaries.
It was Tone who said that.
The what?
Yeah.
Tone, he said the Sabo and Vivi thing.
What about it?
That they might both join the crew.
Oh yeah, yeah, he was saying that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
After this chapter, the Sabo thing went up a little higher for me.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
the thing is, for me, I would have maybe bought that Sabo could have done it, or something happened, an accident or something. But the fact that Cobra's last thing we saw on the television, on the manga, was that this last thing about Cobra is that he asked an audience for the Gorosei and they agreed. That is the biggest. Like, I'm sorry, the Gorosei are like they have no morality. I
don't think Sabo killed him. I think they're framing Sabo.
That's a big clue. Yeah, like Nico Robin, because they framed her for O'Hara. Way they never said it. They never said it, but the way Nico Robin was called a demon child, saying all those people died and everybody hunting her down, and felt like they put everything on her.
The Gorosei's not going to say they killed Sabo or they killed Cobra. They're not going to admit that they did it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying I think it's like a Nico Robin thing.
All I'm gonna say is that you need to accept any possibility. I don't know. I'm not gonna throw it 100% out the window just because Sabo is a revolutionary. I I I I I I don't know him killing somebody. I'm not really
Will
that stuff. We don't really
Will
know much about his character. He's probably killed a lot of people, but who
Actually,
knows?
Will
and he also has.
Sabo join? Like,
We
will he
really
be? Will he like accompany the Straw Hats? Possibly. Will he be an official
Yeah.
Straw Hat? I don't believe so. I don't believe he'll ever be an official
No.
Straw Hat.
Actually, I just thought of something. Sabo has the Maradomi, so Logia have most likely their own will because we see some stuff that prove that Ace's will is still in the Devil Fruit. The will of the fire. If he really got upset, he could have maybe like lost control of his fire, and I don't know, because they said he destroyed a huge bell, or monument over there.
Mm,
So maybe that was the moment where he just lost it and he saw something he didn't
yeah.
like maybe Vivi getting hurt. I think he it happened when he was protecting Vivi. I think he got upset when he was protecting Vivi. He must have seen something he did agree. Like I don't know, they were gonna rape her or they were beating her up or I don't know what.
Maybe they was gonna try to kill her.
Yeah, or trying to kill her, and he got up. He got so fierce, and I think he just blew up.
You know, maybe they want to.
The thing
Cause
we've
I
seen,
kind of think they want to eliminate the their bloodline because the Cobra family were like they're the or the Nefertiti family. They they're the only they. I mean, they're supposed to be celestial dragons, but they're the only. They're like one of two families that refuse to go to like they refuse to go to Mary Jo with the other celestials, and they decided to stay in Alabasta. So right there could be a little grudge, I guess, with Celestials and with the Gorosei against the Nefertiti family. Also, you got Cobra was questioning the Gorosei and stuff, so it was like,
and he if he had admitted that he had knowledge of poneglyphs from Nico Robin, it could have been even for a king, it could have been very bad because they said it's illegal to even debate the idea of reading a poneglyph or something like that. Even the
Yeah.
idea of talking about poneglyph is illegal. So that, and not to forget, Im was holding Vivi's picture before the entire thing. He was already interested in Vivi.
he said it was they asked whose fire do we need to extinguish
Yeah,
while he was holding her picture.
yeah.
curious.
Time for another great cleansing.
I am curious right now. I wonder why. I wonder why Dragon would
I
be
wonder when
mad.
Angel's gonna get his thought out.
I wonder why Dragon would be mad at the death of a royal.
I
Because
think
he doesn't seem to like royals. So I'm curious. Maybe they had a relationship. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they've talked. Who knows?
Well, I mean, there's
Well,
the idea that Dragon could have been a celestial, right? So maybe, there could be
well, they're
Isn't
specifically
that,
targeting
isn't
the
that
celestial dragons, and Cobra isn't a celestial dragon, so that's why he would be upset.
yeah,
Also,
Yeah, but like, he was
they
also
could
mad
have
at
a
the.
relationship. They
He
could
was
also have
yeah.
a
That's
relationship.
what I was possibly thinking.
Yeah,
But
that's what I was saying earlier.
he was
Because
mad
and
at
if you
those
think
people.
of,
and it could also be a case where like Cobra was actually a good king, right? And maybe a revolutionary killing, quote unquote, killing a king such as Cobra actually works a lot against the revolutionaries.
yeah,
It could be something along that line as well. Like because what Alabasta was sad about that whole thing. So just imagine Alabasta not wanting to like help the Revs or something. Alabasta could be a key place for the revolutionaries, and so if Sabo did what he did, it could work against the revolutionaries. And
okay.
or what y'all said, maybe there was a relationship there, but then
I don't
Dragon
know. I don't
Dragon
know.
would be
I
taking it personal at that point. You know,
Yeah,
it's
and
the I don't know about the whole good king thing because you know what's his name Doflamingo. Like imagine Doflamingo died without the truth coming out. I'm sure Dressrosa would have had the same reaction as Alabasta.
but the difference is Crocodile, the Flamingo had a reputation, famous reputation as well. He wasn't like this he was a king to his people, but the rest of the world he was known as a warlord. And the fact that they knew about the weapons being sold in Dressrosa knows that they must have known about his underground name Joker and what he did with Kaido. Most likely they knew about that.
And a lot of people.
Well, I'm not saying that Dragon would have reacted the same. I'm just saying like the whole good king thing. I don't know about that though.
I think there's something interesting. I just thought of something in Alabasta. It could also explain that there was some sort of relationship with Dragon and Cobra, because Alabasta went so bad that they created their own revolution army to fight off against Cobra because of what was happening, and Cobra was trying to solve everything. Like it got so bad that Dragon never, and they said Dragon does infiltrate countries, but it doesn't seem like the revolution army was there. So I'm wondering if maybe he trusted Cobra dealing with his own people. So it could also explain that maybe there is a relationship, like he trusts him, like an ally. I don't know.
I mean, I'm thinking because my thing is, like, Cobra also, not only was he a good king, or, you know, you could say he was a good king to his people, he was also connected with celestial dragons as well. You know, I mean, I guess you could say same for Doflamingo, but Doflamingo was manipulating it. Like, his people were like kind of under like a spell. You know, it's not that he was necessarily looked at as a good king. It was just they were under a spell.
I
sugar spell.
agree. I'm just saying like we know how Cobra is a good person, but
but Dragon probably wouldn't trust. The rest of the world probably wouldn't trust somebody like Doflamingo though.
Yeah, probably wouldn't. But who knows? I'm leaning more on the relationship side rather than the good king part.
I mean, it could be a relationship, but again, then Dragon would be taking this whole thing personal, which would be like,
you
know, that would kind of be unbecoming of him as a leader. You just wanting revenge for your friend or something. I mean, it could be the case. I guess it could be. I'm not, you know, it could be the case.
I mean, that revenge for a friend could be the whole reason he started, you know, the Revolutionary Army. So
it could be just the fact that it could just be Marijoa, actually, not Cobra, but the fact that he went to Marijoa and caused havoc, like they said he did. Because maybe you know they kept telling him to stay quiet. We have to be stealth, and he was everything but stealth. So maybe it's also the fact that he didn't follow protocol.
But let me explain why Dragon taking it personal could be a hindrance to the Revolutionaries in this case, right? Because as we see, there's a lot of insurrections happening in the world, and a lot of people are actually praising Sabo for what he was claimed to have done. So if anything, if I was Dragon and I was just mad at Sabo for personal reasons, instead of capitalizing on what Sabo did, that would probably hurt the Revolutionaries more than help the Revolutionaries, because Sabo's being held as a hero. You know what I'm saying? He's like, there's a lot of, as we know, it's a lot of insurrections happening. So him fighting Sabo as, oh well, you hurt my friend, that would look, the people like, how would that look on Dragon's half, that he's fighting, he's going against somebody that the people are hailing as a hero, as the Flame Emperor, right? Because of his own personal grudge or his own personal issue with Sabo killing somebody that I guess people might not even, I don't know, you know.
I mean, the fact that he says that no matter what reason he has, he will have a problem with Sabo. I don't think he really wants to associate with those kind of people who thinks Sabo's a hero for killing King Cobra.
Yes.
So I don't think he would even care about it.
That's fair.
Because I think it just goes against what Dragon's main goal is, which is taking down the celestial dragons.
That's
and
fair.
Since the Nefertaris revoked that status 800 years ago, that wouldn't be on his agenda, and that could also be a connection between the Revolutionaries and Nefertaris that we don't know about.
But as
So
a group of
it could be both.
but
Yeah.
as a group of revolutionaries, do you really want to make more enemies? Like you're already going up against the world government. Do you want to make more enemies out of a potential another revolutionary group?
Well, that's the thing. Like they aren't going against the world government. They're specifically going against the celestial dragons. That's what Dragon's goal is. It isn't to take down the world government.
But you gotta get the celestial dragons. You gotta get through the world government. So they are kind of going
Right.
against the world government. Like their ultimate goal is the celestials, but the celestials and the world government is kind of like one and the same to a degree because they're going to. It's like if you fight and if you want to kill a king, you have to go through his army and his country and stuff. So you're going to have to go to war with the army and the country just to get to the king. You know.
Well, the world government would be more of like the kingdoms that come together for the revelry.
And you gotta think it's also a lot of people in the revolutionaries that are probably against the world government, you know, not for the same motivation that Dragon is. You know, they're probably
And
revolutionaries.
That's why they're praising Sabo.
Yeah, and that's my point. Like, and that's kind of why I say that Dragon, you know, it would be a bad idea because now it's kind of him. If he's doing this as revenge for his friend, for example, like let's say him and Cobra are friends, and he's taking it personal. This would work against Dragon, or it could work against Dragon. Even if it's not because of their friends.
For a friend, it would be an ally, a potential ally, because having a family that revoked the status of celestial dragons being the ally of the revolutionaries would be a lot better than killing them.
And I agree with that too.
And then that's why Dragon would be pissed.
And I agree with that. I'm just saying, like, to make an enemy out of somebody who's being held among the people, right? Among the people who, you know, they're rising against the world government. For him to go against Sabo would be a bad idea. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
And
right.
if he's doing it
exactly,
and I'm saying if he's doing it for personal reasons, that would be even stupider. And like, if it's like a strategic thing, I get that, right? If it's like having somebody like Nefertari Cobra on your side would be beneficial, I get that. You know, like I can agree with that, but like the whole them being friends aspect, I think that would.
Well, I don't know.
I don't think it's because it's friends. But like,
I don't
also with what you're saying about it would be bad for the revolutionaries, or for the revolution if Dragon like disowns Sabo, yes, and then that's why Sabo is being blamed for it.
Well,
Yeah.
I feel
So
like
the world government can drive a wedge in the revolutionary army.
Yeah, and I'm just saying it would be bad on Dragon to take it personal. Like that's all I'm saying. It would be bad. It would be a bad move for Dragon to act against Sabo for a personal reason.
I think it would be a bad move for him in general.
Yeah, I agree, and I agree with that as well. But
Even if
general.
people didn't know the reason why he did it, they probably would still have a problem with it.
no, and I agree with that. I agree it would, but it would be worse because like if because it's like if let's say there was a strategic advantage of having somebody like Cobra on your side, you know, that being one thing, because it's like, okay, you know, you gotta, you know, it's like this is bad, but this is even worse. But like I kind of get that, even though it would still be bad as well. But for him to take it personal, if they were friends, I would think would be the worst move for Dragon, because you're just using your own personal feelings to get revenge, like for the reasoning behind.
Yeah, I don't think that's what it is.
I don't know what type of revenge you're talking about. I don't know. I mean, from the
No,
chapter, I don't.
you guys said that they could have had a personal relationship, right? Like that was
Yeah, they
one
had
of-
a
like,
personal relationship.
and
If
all
the
I'm saying,
revolutionaries,
all I'm-
like with the goal of the revolution, not a relationship like a friend relationship,
and all I'm
like
saying,
a relationship with the revolution.
And plus, from the chapter, he clearly took it personal. So
look,
I don't
Angel,
I don't
Angel,
see the big deal. Like he
Angel,
it's
y'all kind of not getting what I'm saying. If Dragon wants to disown Sabo for a personal reason, it would look worse on Dragon than, let's say, if he was doing it for a strategic reason. Like, that's what I'm saying.
all,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
I'm gonna
No,
say,
I'm not.
all I'm gonna say
I'm not
is
saying it was because it was like a personal relationship.
Yeah,
I'm saying is because Cobra could have been backing the revolution behind
Yeah.
the scenes.
yeah,
So it
and
would
that's
be
true.
because of a strategic relationship,
Yeah,
not a personal relationship, is what I'm going for.
and
I
if
wasn't
that,
talking about like they go to the bar on the weekends to have drinks, and that's why Dragon's pissed. I ain't saying that. I'm saying
nah.
that Cobra could have been beneficial to the revolution.
Yeah, and in that
I'm gonna
case,
say
Dragon could spin it like, look, the reason why, like, he hurt our alliance. That would make at least make Dragon look more, like, what I'm trying to say. Like, he has a
Reasonable.
actual reason. Yeah, more reasonable, right? But if he's just doing this because, like, somebody said if they had like a relationship back in the days because they were Celestials or whatever, it would look bad on Dragon. Like, that's all I'm saying.
I'm just gonna say this. No matter the reason Dragon is mad, I'm just gonna say he took whatever Sabo did personally.
Yeah.
If he killed Cobra, he took it personal.
So on
So
that,
I
how
just
long
think it
until
might be
we get?
Marjorie. I think it might be the fact what he did in Marjorie. I think it's like the big no-no. I think he wants to show the example. He doesn't want to play fire with fire.
Yeah.
You know.
No,
I think it could also
think
be Marjorie.
I don't think it's them going loud. I think it's just based on Cobra.
yeah, because I don't know.
Because
I'm
he
not
would have
looking at
said, "Oh, he made too much noise." It was
Yeah.
specifically Cobra that pissed him off.
All I'm gonna say is that whatever the reason, whatever is strategic, blah blah blah. To me, from the dialogue
Mm-hmm.
we got, it seems that Dragon took this as a personal attack on his character. So who knows?
Yeah. And if that's the case, then he would be taking it personally, which I think would
Yeah,
be
that's why he says, "I won't forgive him."
and I would say that would be a bad move to make on Dragon's side if he takes this whole thing personally. If he's doing it as a, like, Sabo, you kind of messed up some good alliances that we had that was beneficial. I get it, but if he wants to take it personally, then it could make him look bad as a leader. And
Yeah, you see, I would have think it was possible. I would think it would have been possible for him being like, "Oh, with the having something to do with the Revolutionary Army."
Mhm.
Maybe it's still possible that it did, but I don't think the only reason why I don't feel like it has something to do with the Revolutionary is because he says that he personally. I feel like he would be like, "Oh, something like, oh, I won't allow him to rejoin our
Yeah.
group," but he's just like, "No, I won't forgive him." Like me personally, me as a person, I won't be able to forgive him, and me and him will have problems.
Yeah.
So I feel like no matter what it is, from this chapter and from what words Dragon said, he took Sabo killing Cobra personally.
Yeah, I would think Dragon will also be smart enough to know that the world government is going to spin things the way they want it, to make,
Yeah, but
make Sabo
he's
look
not
bad.
going to cancel out the possibility.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he won't, but I'm pretty sure he's not. I don't think it's going to get to a point where we're going to see Dragon versus Sabo. That's what I'm saying.
No, because it's all gonna get cleared up with this Jinden Mushiko.
But yeah, Bluff, I agree with you. It would be a bad move for him to do, but
Yeah.
if he does do something like that, which it seems like he is going to do something. Well, I'm not going to say he's going to attack him, but I don't know. Maybe they'll have a discussion or something,
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. But but as of right now, if Sabo killed Cobra, him and Dragon got problems.
Yeah, but the thing
Yep.
is, do you believe Sabo killed Cobra?
No, I don't.
I don't think he did.
No one does.
I don't think. Yes, I think that's gonna get. I think that's gonna get cleared up pretty much quick. Kind of like Joy
This
Boy
is this
said
is
probably during this
this is
call.
this is the exact reason why. No, well, maybe it's not bad, but I don't know. There's very few things that I'm 100% on,
Mm-hmm.
but this is not one of those things I'm 100% on. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it's out of his character because I don't know. We barely know his character,
Yeah.
and we don't know what happened there. So, if it happened, I wouldn't be surprised. If it didn't, I wouldn't, be shocked either.
I don't believe Sabo has a reason to kill Cobra though. It's like,
Yeah, but things happen, man.
and plus
It's a
it's
world.
already shown that like the Gorosei was always kind of in cahoots of possibly offing Cobra, because he was asking too much questions.
Yeah,
So
yeah, we do see
it
that.
wouldn't put it, I wouldn't put it past him to frame Sabo for it. Hold on,
Yeah, me too. But
hold on.
like anything can happen. I mean, Blackbeard was gonna go for Luffy, but he got Ace.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Like, why would Sabo do something like that? That's the question.
I mean, you just gotta get the mindset of Dragon, man. It could have happened for any reason, and it's still possible that it happened.
Yeah.
It could have happened, man. I'm just saying it could have happened. It's
Yeah.
not impossible.
So yeah, man, we pretty much talked about most of the chapter, man. Y'all got any more theories that maybe this chapter maybe brought up? Not
No.
any
Think
like
I thought
Mihawk
I thought
being
Q
a
wanted
naval
to talk
hunter.
about something.
I have
Q.
something, but it's outside. It's outside of this chapter. So basically, when I read the chapter on Friday, and I started thinking, and it's about Mihawk, the whole Mihawk thing, and I
Okay.
thought of something, and it also comes from some of the stuff Elid said,
Okay.
and I did some research on hockey. So we do agree that everybody has hockey, right?
Yeah, I mean that's what really.
Everything like everything has a will.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I said most likely those who do, by nature have their own hockey or their own will inside it. That's how they can go awakening. And I thought to myself, what if a regular person without a devil fruit can go to a form of awakening, something he can do, and Mihawk could do that, or Shanks. And so I thought of the one thing is when I look back at what is Conqueror's hockey, it's the only hockey that you unlock, that somebody can unlock, and only very few can do it, like
Yeah.
awakening. So my take is like Conqueror is basically like the one ingredient you need
Yeah.
to have any form of awakening. So I would see that with that idea that what Shanks can do with like his nickname, the observation killer. I could see Mihawk be able to do like something even another talent with observation or armament with his conquerors.
You
That
already
maybe he
know.
does have conqueror, and he has the eyes, the same eyes that Luffy had when he was awakened.
You already
The
know how
swirly
I feel
eyes.
about Mihawk when it comes to hockey. I've said like, man, I think them eyes are more like maybe some type of awakening, either like a bloodline thing or maybe a spiritual type awakening. But because one thing that I feel as though doesn't get talked about enough when it comes to Mihawk is that moment when we had Luffy, when Mihawk was like, Mihawk and Luffy had their little scuffle, and Luffy was about to attack Mihawk, but for like a split second, he was able to see into the future of what would have happened if he would have attacked Mihawk, and he seen his arms get cut off, right? So, like, why? Like, what happened? Like, Luffy didn't have future sight at that time, right? Like, that wasn't even talked about at that time, but I'm thinking it was something to do more of Mihawk. Like, it was Mihawk's doing of Luffy than anything
Mihawk
Luffy
did it.
did.
Mihawk
Yeah.
did it.
So
He did it. For me, he did it. He did it.
So yeah,
'Cause,
I think that has something to do with like maybe Mihawk having like some level of observation hockey that most people can't even access, because maybe it has something to do with those eyes. Maybe like Eam is capable of it as well. Maybe what's his name? The one who was there for all the ancient weapons when we got the ancient weapon reveals. The mud guy.
Karibu.
Caribou, maybe Caribou. I'm joking with Caribou though, but he do got those ringed eyes. It's just his is different than Mihawk's. You know.
But the thing you're talking about, the Mihawk giving the vision to Luffy, I'm starting to wonder if with Conqueror's the same thing with Rio, like with Armament and Conqueror's gives that lightning Conqueror's advanced Conqueror's attack. What if he could do the same thing with Observation? And that is maybe the thing. That's why maybe Shanks was able to talk to Green Bull, and Green Bull was talking back to Shanks, even though there were kilometers of difference.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if you mix up your different type of hockey that you use and the way you use it, like we all know that there's two types of observation. There's the future, there's seeing the future, and there's being awareness, the awareness aspect of it. So if you play around with some of them, I think everybody has with Conquerors, they have their own unique thing. And I would even think that's how Devil Fruits are created. People using the Conquerors at that level with their skills, and then they get reborn as a Devil Fruit.
Yeah, and
I would even think it did that.
Yeah, we definitely talked about that with me, Elids. You know, that's one of them things we talked about in depth about maybe Void Century, people in the Void Century. You know, like they were able to create abilities with hockey, and then they died or were born as devil fruits or something. Like Nika. Nika's a perfect example of that. You know, like how was Nika an actual person who possibly lived, you know, at least in legend, and then there was a devil fruit Nika. You know, did Nika die and was rebirthed as a devil fruit? I've
already said it.
I would beg to argue that.
I would even say that Toki is an example, prime example. Somebody born 800 years ago has the exact name as her devil fruit.
That's
so
true.
I would even say that maybe it came from her, that skill. Like it's worth her hockey, the way she used her hockey, and she had this ability. Like before you were able to push at that level. I would even think that that's how she got her devil fruit, and that maybe all devil fruits, they're the name of the first users. Maybe there was a guy called Gura, and he would use tremble attacks, you know. And just Oda was not creative enough, and he just chose the same name as the attacks. Because Toki means time. So it's literally, I think it's not what they do as a power, but who they get it from. The initial who will.
Yeah.
You know something about I don't know how to feel about it. Because, you know, Cube has some good evidence for, you know, why he believes it or why it's possible, you know, that Mihawk did it. The only thing is, it's just that why? That's the only thing I'm thinking about. Like, why would he do it? Like, why would he do that when he was trying to test Luffy's fate?
He knows about Luffy.
I don't think
about Luffy. For me, he knows about Luffy.
I don't think Mihawk was trying to kill Luffy.
I mean, he was trying to test his fate.
Yeah, but
why help him?
Because he didn't want to kill him. Because he didn't want to cut his arms off, possibly. So he was like, "Look, I'm a testing you. Don't mean he was trying to kill him."
I mean, if someone is testing your fate, you're either gonna die or live.
I don't think he said that, but I don't think he was. Because Mihawk also said something along the line like he doesn't hold back, but yet he held back on Zoro. So he says it, but that doesn't mean he necessarily tries to follow through on everything. Like because somebody showed me him talking about he's made a statement about like he never holds back, but he held back on Zoro because he even said he even told Zoro like I didn't kill him, or he told Luffy like I didn't kill your friend or whatever. He could have killed him. Obviously, he knew he could have killed him, but he held back. So. Yes, he said that. But doesn't mean...
When did he say that?
Huh?
He said at one point. At one point.
Oh, he only. But he didn't.
Marineford.
He never said I. He never said I never hold back.
He did say something.
He said
somebody showed me that. Said, like, I have to look at it, but he said something along the line as that.
I think it's against Vista or one of the commanders. He's fighting at Marineford. And he says his name, and then he says something. I never hold back, or I won't hold back.
Yeah, he says I won't hold back. He says I won't hold back to.
But I'm not sure what the exact phrase.
No, but he says.
For me, Mihawk knows about Luffy, and so for me, that's why he chose Zoro as his number 2 end swordsman. And he saw his first skills, and maybe he sensed something that interesting about him. He marked him as his rival. For me, and so Mihawk sending that vision is because he maybe knows what is the possible destiny because he has that fruit. So he at the same time protected him and also wanted to see up close what he is about.
And another thing is, from this panel I'm looking at right now, it seems that if Fate had it where he would kill him, he didn't mind it. So he literally says, will he live, or will my black blade end his life?
Hold on. Detective Momo says Eam has the same eyes. Yes, sir, he do. Yeah, like I kind of think Eam and Mihawk could be connected somehow. You know, like I wouldn't. I think there's a theory I did recently where somebody said Mihawk has Joy Boy's blade, like Yoro is Joy Boy's blade, and maybe Mihawk comes from like the same bloodline as Eam and possibly Joy Boy. I think that's possible. You know, I think that could be possible. But yeah, I don't think he was trying to I don't think he was trying to kill Luffy or trying to do anything. Even though he said that, I don't think he was trying. Like I don't.
No.
And another thing is, I just went back and looked at at the panel where Luffy sees the future or whatever. Mihawk seems kind of surprised, saying, "You seem unusually calm." Or let me see this. You seem unusually calm after Luffy stops running at him.
Say that again.
He says, "You seem unusually calm." So he didn't expect Luffy to stop, but what he expects doesn't really debunk anything.
I
Yeah.
think it's just Luffy, like, just barely glimpsing into the power of observation hockey, because we know hockey blooms in the middle of battle.
Mm-hmm.
So he's experienced users of observation hockey before.
Yeah.
So it's just Oda hinting. I don't think it's Mihawk sending, hey, if you don't pull back, I'm gonna cut your arms off.
Yeah.
And another thing is, now that we know to use future sight, you need to be calm. That also explains why he says you seem unusually calm.
Yeah.
So maybe it was just him doing future sight. But then again, Cube does have some pretty good evidence for being able to do that, for someone to be able to, show you what they see.
Yeah. But yeah, so y'all got anything else for the chapter? Any theories, any predictions? What are you gonna say, Joe? What's up?
I just want to say, once you watch film Red, we're definitely gonna have a discussion.
Well, that's when it gets to America.
Because there's so many stuff I want to talk about.
Hold on,
Oh,
because
sorry.
I think the Navy is underplaying Shanks's sword skill, especially when it comes against Mihawk. And
you
after
seen
the
film
movie,
Red?
I think we'll have a very interesting conversation.
Where'd you see film Red? Ain't you in the U.S.?
I haven't seen it. I see it. But I've seen some things about it. And I think there's going to be a very interesting conversation to have after it hits the U.S. is what I'm saying.
All right, man, don't be teasing.
Especially after this chapter.
Why y'all do that? Why do y'all do that? Why y'all gotta do that?
Without spoiling, I'll say this.
I know you ain't gonna see film Red just yet, but I'm gonna give you some stuff that makes you want to watch it even more. And
no, you'll have a different perspective on certain things.
Well, I don't want to talk about film Red because I want to see it and I can't. Okay, y'all making me more anxious in seeing it. I can't see it right now because it's not over here. I'm sorry you get to see it, Cube. I can't see it yet. I gotta wait a couple more months or whatever.
So
I do want to say that this was like one of the first chapters I've read in like years where I haven't experienced like any spoilers since I didn't have a phone for like a week.
Yeah, I've seen.
It was crazy.
It was hard to avoid spoilers because everywhere I seen just, hey, we found the truth of Mihawk. I'm like, come on, man, dang. The thought just ridiculous.
This is the first chapter I haven't seen anything going into.
Like I
Joy Boy,
I seen a panel where they was holding Buggy's head and stuff. I'm like, man.
Oh, bro. When I saw that, I was dying.
That's the best part. That's the best part.
Like that, I loved what Oda did with the relationship with the Cross Guild. It was exactly what I wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Joy Boy, you were very lucky because last week Angel put the weirdest fake spoiler I've ever read. Angel might not say anything about it because she's maybe ashamed. I still have a copy of it. I'll send it to you privately because I can't even show it publicly. It's
Y'all ain't worth a damn.
I don't know where he found that. I don't know where he found that, but it is. You're gonna see. I'll send it to both of you privately, but it's you missed
right.
the shocking moment.
Oh
All
my.
right.
I don't got a prediction for the next chapter, but I got a prediction that's inevitable for the future.
What is that prediction?
Oh, Zoro's death. Zoro's death. Yeah, Zoro's death is inevitable.
That's just something you want. Don't
You
put
just
your
salty.
fantasy.
You just
Yeah.
salty.
He's just
Something
so
I
mad.
want. Why would I want?
You
Why
still
would I
mad
want?
over that tier list? Are you still mad over
Why
that
would I
tier
want
list?
this Straw Hats to this day?
He not letting
Why would
that
I
tier
want that?
list go. He not letting that tier list go.
What do you mean?
I think we could,
I have been saying this before the tier list. I think I said this in my first conversation with Joy Boy. I think I did. I don't remember clearly. But yeah,
I think he has been on the Zoro dying train for a while.
Okay, Angel. I don't know why you think that, but okay.
I think we'll get an update on the other warlords next chapter.
Okay.
I think we get that before we get Sabo information.
So Boa, see what Boa and Weevil's up to.
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah, it's just those two. The other one is already in jail,
Yeah,
or he's probably.
I would
or
like
he's probably
to see Dofi
now.
again.
I think Weevil might be like before this whole cross guild thing. I would assume that Weevil could have potentially been like an underling of Buggy somehow, but I think he might be a Blackbeard pirate. I think he might join the Blackbeard pirates, especially if Blackbeard is connected with Zebek somehow, and Zebek is connected with what's her name, Weevil's mom. Y'all remember her name?
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe
I call her Stevel. I call
Huh?
her Stevel. I call her Stevel.
Okay. Seville. Okay. Yeah, I think she might convince Weevil or order Weevil to work for Blackbeard, and maybe Weevil will be like the 10th Titanic captain. I don't know. I think that whole mystery of who the 10th Titanic captain is, that's like I was watching Threevil said he, his theory is this law,
He thinks it's law.
He think it's law.
That's interesting.
It could be possible because
I'm gonna be
the
dropping that video
destinations
this
of
week.
each of because I think
You
the
know,
next
this is
destination of law is there.
that is one of the most. That is something that has actually surprised me. Wow.
I'm gonna be dropping that reaction video this week on YouTube, so y'all gonna see that. Y'all gonna see that.
And I thought I was prepared for anything.
But yeah,
my prediction is we're gonna arrive or we're gonna know they're gonna say where's the next island, even though we pretty have a good guess of where they're going next.
Elbath.
Out of this whole month, or out of these last 5 chapters or 10 chapters, I don't know how long, the most surprising things were the way Gear 5 happened. I mean, the idea of it
Yeah.
was predictable, but the way it happened, that was pretty shocking. And Shanks being near Wano, that was pretty shocking. I did not expect that.
Mate, I think he might have had. I think his plan was to get that poneglyph because, even after he said, "Hey, I'm," his goal was to become Pirate King. So, he need those roll
Buggy
poneglyphs.
being
You need those roll poneglyphs.
and Buggy being an emperor. The idea of the cross guild. It didn't become
Yeah,
that
Cross
surprising.
Guild for me is the most biggest
Yeah.
surprise for me.
I think
I don't know. I feel like after the emperor thing, something like cross guild. I don't know about the bounties for Marines, but the warlord stuff.
I think the
No,
next
even
I think the next level up Buggy's gonna get is the world government believing that Shanks work for Buggy as well.
Buggy's gonna
I'm
be the pirate.
surprised. I'm surprised they don't think that yet.
Yeah.
Because it's Buggy. The man,
And
the
the
myth,
way
the legend.
Yo, I was thinking Buggy's bounty was going to be higher than like as outrageous as it sounds. I was thinking it could be potentially as high or even higher than Rogers. I'm like, what?
I
What?
was hoping for that. It would have been
the
the funniest thing ever. Imagine
but the
everyone
thing
thinking that it would have been Luffy to surpass it or Dragon to surpass that bounty, and it was Buggy the goat.
But
It would have been
I'm gonna say something about the Cross Guild that's the one thing I'm just realizing is except for the buggy part, but if you could about Crocodile and Doflamingo, Crocodile and Mihawk's journey in the story, it makes perfect sense that they both found together the Cross Guild. If you think about it, like Mihawk chasing Don Creek's crew from the Grand Line to the East Blue, Crocodile creating an organization that hunts down people, Doflamingo proposing to Crocodile to team up. Like it lines up completely. So when we heard the Cross Guild, we just got hyped up because it made perfect sense. Of how we've been thinking is like the detail of working on creating that faction.
Yeah.
But Crocodile is a genius. He's a pretty smart guy. I
Yeah,
wonder, but I am very curious on like what made him this confident,
I
in
think it's
himself.
meeting Luffy. I think it's meeting Luffy. I'm saying he was in Impel Down. He might have heard the Nika stories. He might have been convinced it's Luffy. He knows his dragon son. I don't know, but I feel like Luffy plays a huge role.
Yeah. What made Crocodile
Yeah,
so confident?
yeah,
Yeah, I
like
think
because
there's
I mean, he's a smart guy, so
I know, but like being an alabaster, before he challenged the world government, he wanted Pluton. So I'm curious of like what made him confident to be able to challenge the world government. Like,
he's seen
is it something equal to
he's seen the opportunity. He's seen the
What do you mean?
opportunity. Well, when they disbanded the Shichibukai, it's like now he knew Mihawk was going to become an enemy. He knew Buggy was going to become an enemy of the world government. So it's like you seize that opportunity
Well,
and you capitalize on that. So it's a perfect opportunity to make an ally that may need or want to work with you.
no,
I think
I'm not talking about the ally stuff. I know the ally stuff was just an opportunity. I'm saying like I wonder what made him confident that, you know, this bounty stuff is actually gonna work.
the bounties on the Marines.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Marines. There's a lot of people who don't like Marines. I would think, and plus, if you offer money for somebody's head, that people gonna take it. That's why That's
Yeah,
why.
but
That's
like
what.
there's like offers for Luffy's head, and I don't think we've ever had someone try to take his head.
Who?
I think it's more like they want the Marines to be distracted. Like there's a
Mm.
bigger goal. For me, it's a distraction. Like think of it, Barrack Works was a distraction. He wanted Pluton. That's his entire goal, and he needed something to distract the world, and it was his organization.
Yeah, King Cobra was his distraction, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, and all of it. You think about it. He only needed like Miss Merry Christmas, the mole to go underground. He needed Nico Robin, and he needed Mister Two. All the others were like muscles. That's all.
Yeah.
And the goal was Pluton. So I think the bounty thing is again a distraction. Yes, it's helpful to take down the Marines, but also while they're busy fighting all of those assaults, he's planning something bigger.
Yeah, I agree with Cube on that. Like it's distraction, and it's fighting fire with fire as well. Like they come at us, hey, let's do the same with them. They're always putting bounties on us. Let's put bounties on them. And the world government's already like spread pretty thin, so it makes sense. It would just give them an even harder time.
I know, Bucky, man, legendary guy, pretty funny. This chapter, the two emperors were beaten up. Well, the two new emperors were beaten up. So, it's kind of a sad sight to see.
Yeah. Man, it is what it is. Luffy do crazy things, but yeah. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Also subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Follow me on Twitch. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and join the Discord if you want to be part of the community. I appreciate Angel, Cube, and Joy Boy for being a part of this stream and this discussion. If you want to become part of a future discussion, hey, join the Discord. Anyway, it's your boy Sean P. the Bluff Guy, and I'm out of here. Peace.